Happy Thursday. Happy American Thanksgiving. I'm Canadian, not celebrating Thanksgiving, but if you are American, happy American Thanksgiving. Today is obviously a no trade day because there's going to be no volatility in the market. So I decided to make a video on yesterday's trading. I had to run to work, so I didn't have time to put a video out, but yesterday I took a total of 3 trades, one small loss, one break even, and one decent size winner. So I'm gonna go over that. I'm gonna go over how I was reading the market, how I sort of handled downtrend days or trending days. So let's just jump into it here, man. So hopping on the 1 hour, that's usually where I'll start my analysis for the day. What I noticed right off the bat was the fact that we had these relative equal lows right here. So again, going into the day, this is sort of what I'm looking at. So this is before market open. This is what I see. I see relative equal lows, beautiful, beautiful liquidity pools to target. Relative equal lows are amazing targets. So right off the hop, beautiful set of relative equal lows. We have relative equal lows a little bit lower down here, and we have this LR. So right off the hop, I'm bearish as shit. Super bearish going into the day. And what I'm hoping for is a entry after market open to take these lows out. My God, it's bright in here. Okay. So we tap into this 1 hour bearish fair value gap before market open. And what happens? We just dump at market open here at 9:30 and take those lows out. So if you look on the 1 minute, there is really no entry opportunity here. Our entry model is the inverse fair value gap. We do not get an entry. Unfortunately, you could argue that this is an entry, but I am not going to enter a trade 2 minutes before market open. I'm not willing to handle that type of volatility, especially if I'm in a challenge account. The rules are just so strict. So I'm not going to hop in a trade before market open here. And let's just play price out a little bit. So what happens? We basically just dump. We dump about, I want to say 200 points, and there's really no entries here. So that's the thing about trading an inverse fair value gap. Sometimes you just don't get an entry, and you got to sit on your hands and be a patient little boy. So that's what we did. We were patient. We didn't try to force an entry. It's very tempting sometimes to take a model that is not yours to try to hop in and capitalize on a move like this. But I'm practicing patience. So we sat out. We didn't take any entries here, and we just watched price dump without us, which was kind of shitty, but it is what it is, man. So the first trade of the day that I took here was, where was it? It was right here. So let's play price a bit. Again, we cannot play price on the 1 minute. I have no idea why. So let's just play price out. So what I noticed was we put in another set of relative equal lows right here. So we have relative equal lows here. We got very close to taking these lows. So I am not willing to go long until these lows are taken. And I'm willing to try to take a stab short at capturing these lows because these will most likely hit. Equal lows down here during London session. We put in a low down here, get very close to taking it. It's very rare that you'll see price almost take a low like this and then reverse. 90% of the time, 95% of the time, price will not leave these equal lows. It will come down and take it before price wants to go up to stop these traders out. So this was the first trade idea, and it wasn't the cleanest trade, and I'll explain why in a second here. So this was the first trade of the day. This was a loss. We put in a beautiful 1 minute fair value gap right here, and we inversed it. I was expecting this to continue to the downside and sweep these lows for about a 1 to 2. The reason I did not like this trade was simply because we never got a liquidity sweep up here. Now, if price came up, gave us a wick, and we got a liquidity sweep and then inverse this, I feel like it would have worked, but it looked like price wanted to sweep a high before continuing lower. So again, no liquidity sweep. I think I could have sat out of this trade now that I'm looking at it in hindsight. It looked decent just because we have these stacked lows below, great target, but again, no liquidity sweep. It was worth a stab, it was worth a shot. Luckily, it was a very small loss. So I got stopped out as soon as price closed back above this gap. So you can see this candle closes just back above and I exited the position. I'm trying to keep those losses as small as possible. And yeah, as you can see, price boosts another 20 or 30 points. So it's a good thing that I did close the position here. It saved me from, increasing that loss by quite a bit. If I decided to hold on, I probably would have panicked and sold my position here. So it's a great thing I did get stopped out when I did. I followed my rules there, kept that loss small, and that's great. So the second trade that I tried to take was this trade right here. And again, I'm trying to target these lows. So the reason I like this trade was because we did get a liquidity sweep. As you can see, we take this high here. We barely displace above it. We leave that 1 minute fair value gap right here, as you can see. So we'll mark that up for you. 1 minute fair value gap. Liquidity sweep. We close back below with quite a bit of speed. I enter right here. And again, targeting these lows. So my entry goes right here. Stop above this gap. And I'm targeting these lows. So this would have been about a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Again, pretty good risk to reward there. I'm willing to hop in a trade like that. We get the sweep, look pretty clean. Amazing liquidity pool down below. And it would have been about a 27 point trade. But again, our break even stops us. So we take this swing low out. And as soon as we take this swing low out, I'm putting my stop to break even. Because as you can see, the conditions were a little bit choppy. For example, we take this swing high and then reverse. So if we take this swing low and then reverse, who knows how much we could reverse by. And again, as you can see, that sort of saves me. So again, we close below, we take this swing low right here. At this point, we're up about 14, 15 points. I'm not going to let a 14, 15 point winner turn into a loss. So as soon as we take this low with this wick here, stop goes to break even and bang, gets stopped out. We chop around a bit and then start to boost up. So again, that break even stop saved me from a big loss there. And at this point, I am not very confident in targeting these lows just because we keep getting so close. We're chopping around. So I say to myself, okay, I'm not going to try shorts to these lows anymore. I'm simply going to wait until these lows get taken, and then I'm going to look for a reversal. So again, equal lows. This is a very obvious liquidity pool right here. You can expect a potential reversal once these get swept. So we keep an eye out for that reversal. We wait for these lows to get swept. Play price a little bit more. Bang, we sweep these lows. I'm looking to see if we displace below these lows, or if we just have a little move down and then a potential reversal. So if price just kept dropping here, if we got like for example, a candle like this melting through these lows, we probably want lower. So I want to see how much we displace below these lows. Do we just wick below these lows and then start to move up, or do we displace quite a bit below these lows? So that will tell you a lot. So hopping back onto the one here, as you can see, we take these lows, about 15 points, and then we start to move back up. So this to me is a great sign. It's a sign that we could potentially reverse here simply because we barely displace below these lows. As you can see, we just wick below them and then start to move back up. So this to me is a good sign that we might want to start reversing here. The green light goes off in my head and I start looking for plays. And this is the play that I jumped in here. So let's take a look at it. So here we go. We displace below these lows. We have a 1 minute fair value gap up here and a fair value gap down here. And this fair value gap is not the cleanest, but a big reason that I did take this gap was simply because of the speed that this candle displaced through both of these gaps with. So we not only displaced through one fair value gap inversing it, but we displaced through two with a lot of speed. So this one candle here says a lot. This shows this power, and the fact that we slice through both of these fair value gaps, both of these bearish PD arrays like nothing, tells me that we might want to start reversing. So I am willing to hop in this and risk this play here, even though this fair value gap is not the cleanest, simply because of the speed of this bullish candle. So we displace through both of those fair value gaps. We inverse this fair value gap up here, and then I wait for the retest, hoping that this fair value gap, inverse fair value gap, is going to hold to the upside, and that's what it does. So we get the inverse here. The stop would be below this breaker here. This is technically a breaker block. So this is another bullish PD array that would hold price. So I put the stop below here and I target this swing high for the day. And again, I wasn't trying to get too greedy with this. As you can see, we called the reversal pretty much perfectly. Price starts to swing higher and we could have captured more points. I mean, we had equal highs up here. I think price took those out as well. But again, we're chopping around quite a bit. I'm not trying to get too greedy. It's the day before Thanksgiving. So I was happy with this play. Happy to finish green on the day. And we capitalized on this for about 26, I want to say 24, 25 points. So again, this is a 1 to 3.8. So that is great risk to reward. Not trying to get too greedy on that play. And yeah, this was the winner for the day. So as you can see, it's very important to keep the losses small. Very important to respect your break-even areas here. For example, break-even point on this trade, because all you need is one nice play to make a small loss back. So that's exactly what we did. I believe this was a 150 point loss right here. 150 point loss here. So small loss, break even. We're down 150 on the day. And then we hit a big winner to finish things off for about a $450 win. So because we were disciplined, because we followed our rules here, we were able to finish with a $300 profit. So that is not bad. We will take that. It's about, I don't know, 0.6%. So yeah, man, it was a good trading day, clean trading day. Yes, I could have held this trade a bit longer, but again, was not trying to get too greedy. I mean, like, let's take a look at this. If you were to put your TP up here at these equal highs, for example, you're looking at a 1 to 17 risk to reward, which is pretty outrageous. Like, those do not hit that often. So we weren't trying to get too cute, but as you can see, price takes out those equal highs a little bit later on in the day. So yeah, that was the day summed up. And obviously not trading today because it's American Thanksgiving. We might not trade tomorrow either, just because Friday's probably not going to be that volatile either. Everyone is celebrating today. Everyone's going to be hungover, tired, and out of it tomorrow. So we'll see what next week brings. Probably not going to smack the button tomorrow. And yeah, that was this week summed up. And I just want to show the account analytics here, just to give you guys a bit of an update on the Trade-Evade account. So right now the account is currently sitting at, how do I get out of here? Right now the account is currently sitting at 52.6. So we're up about 5.2% on the account, which means we need another 0.8% to pass, another $400 to pass, which really isn't bad. And we've been trading this account for a while. So let's just hop into the analytics here for this month. So this month we are up about $1,300. It was a very choppy month, very slow month because we had elections. Price action hasn't been the best. It's been fairly tough to navigate. So it's not that impressive, but you know what? I'm happy to be up $1,300 on a month like this. It's been a difficult month for a lot of traders out there. And last month we are up $1,500. So we made 3% last month. We've almost made 3% this month passing the account. Normally, I like to try to pass these a little bit quicker, but due to the conditions recently, we've had a couple of setbacks. Again, these past couple of months have been a little bit tougher. So slow and steady wins the race, man. We're almost there. We've almost passed it, and I'm okay to take my time on a challenge like this. It's nice to see these profitable months stacking up. And yeah, let's see what next week brings.